Up right now on CBSSports.com, a great article taking a look at the 2024 draft class and redrafting it based on what we know now. And, well, what do you know? The Bears made the wrong choice. Jaden Daniels obviously going to the Commanders last year, leading them to the NFC Championship game. But if we could all be Cher and turn back time, he likely would have gone to Chicago.
Wow, a classic.
Cher reference. Nobody saw that coming. Drake May stays with the Patriots at number 3. But look at Bo Nix all the way to the Giants at 6. That means Big Blue passes on Malik Neighbors. Okay, back to the Commanders. Some of our analysts knew this boom was happening. Pete Briscoe was really high on Daniels, but I don't think anyone could say the team was going to be as good as it was. So who's taking a major leap forward and surprising some people next season? Let's bring back our guys, Emory Hunt and Tyler Sullivan. Emory, the lapel flower, I think, has gotten bigger as the day has gone on, as it should. It looks great, man. You're giving my Garden State a lot of love. I appreciate that. And you're up first here. You think the team drafting first will make a major leap, and then also maybe the Panthers are a lot better this year. Why?
Well, timeout. Last year at draft time, I was sitting next to your co-host right there, Jacqueline, and I said that the Washington Commanders will go to the playoffs based off them drafting Jaden Daniels. The clip is out there, the tweets out there, the receipts are out there. Now to your question. I like Tennessee because here's the thing. That roster, to me, is not bad at all. They just need a quarterback. They have 2 solid receivers, really good tight end, a collection of tailbacks, and defensively, the front 7 is really good. And on the back end, they were banged up a lot last year to get a lot of those guys back healthy. So the template has already been put in place. The foundation is set. Any quarterback you add, Cam Ward or Shedeur Sanders, makes this team a playoff team. And the Panthers, based off how they finished, they started to get a little bit more fight in them. We saw Bryce Young look like the Bryce Young in Atlanta. I'm sorry, in Alabama. But in Atlanta, they played a great game down that way. But I like them carrying over from last season into next year. They'll add a few more pieces. Bryce Young is confident. The Panthers look like a team that can get into the postseason as well.
Okay, Titans and Panthers. Tyler, Drake May showed some of those flashes of growing into a franchise quarterback for the Patriots. Couple him with now the new head coach, Mike Vrabel, and you have a team that's maybe ready to take a leap. Why do you think San Francisco, though, will also be back in the playoffs next season? They got those questions around Deebo Samuel's future there.
Yeah, I mean, talk about a team that just was stricken with bad injury luck last season. The San Francisco 49ers out of the gate losing Christian McCaffrey for the bulk of the season. So I just feel like they're going to have positive injury regression, right, in 2025. Like, they can't be this cursed to not have their star players on the field on a consistent basis. And when they are, when the San Francisco 49ers are firing on all cylinders, this is a Super Bowl team. They've been to the Super Bowl. They've rivaled for that championship, haven't been able to get over the hump, but have the pieces in place to contend for a championship around the 8th most cap space in the NFL this offseason. Of course, Deebo Samuel needs to get figured out whether or not he gets traded out of the Bay Area. Of course, you have the Brock Purdy question. When does that seismic contract extension come into play? But overall, the talent is there for the 49ers to get right back in the Super Bowl conversation if the pieces fall the right way, and obviously everyone's staying healthy. And then the New England Patriots, you referenced Drake May. He was about the only good thing for the Patriots in 2024, the only positive light for them. They move on from Gerard Mayo. They hire Mike Vrabel. It feels like they're going to be a little bit more of a tighter ship in 2025. They have the number 4 overall pick, the most amount of cap space. There's a lot in their arsenal to really improve off of last season. And again, it all revolves around Drake May.
All right, as we should, showing a lot of love on Valentine's Day, but there's always some heartache and heartbreak, right? So that's the good. How about the bad, Emory? 2 teams that take a step back in 2025.
Sticking in the NFC, man, I look at the Rams taking a step back because there's a lot going on right now, and we haven't even started the league year. We don't know where Matthew Stafford is going to be. Obviously, according to his wife, he wants out. And you also know that Cooper Kupp is going to not be with the football team as well. So you have 2 key pieces that are not going to be there. So that kind of changes the dynamic because there's a lot of unknown. So with that will come a team dropping off. And Tampa Bay, this is another football team where not because they won't be solid or won't be competitive. Man, look at how hard they had to compete in every one of their divisional games against the Falcons, against the Panthers and the Saints. You figure that two of those teams will be a lot better this upcoming season, which means the Tampa Bay Buccaneers will take a slightly step back, and probably both squads who made the postseason this year will miss the postseason as a result.
All right, Tyler, how about two teams for you that maybe aren't as good as their 2024 version?
Yeah, I'm looking at the Minnesota Vikings and the Pittsburgh Steelers. From the Vikings standpoint, I just have a lot of questions about what's going to happen at quarterback. We don't know if Sam Darnold's going to be back. We were talking earlier, like, are they going to make a trade for Matthew Stafford or something like that? But is it J.J. McCarthy? Like, we just don't know all of these questions that need to be answered at the most important position. They're a super talented roster. Kevin O'Connell's the head coach of the year. So there's a lot to like here. But again, they won 14 games. They're almost the #1 seed in the NFC this season. I don't think that that's replicable. I don't know if they're going to be able to kind of run that back in that same fashion. They might still contend for a playoff spot, but you got to remember, the NFC North is one of the toughest divisions in the NFL. You have the Detroit Lions. You have the Chicago Bears that are coming now with head coach Ben Johnson. The Green Bay Packers with Jordan Love. They'll be competitive. So there's a world where, Chicago hits and Green Bay goes up and Detroit's still Detroit, and they're like last place. I still, that's crazy, but it's possible for the Minnesota Vikings. And then lastly, you have the Pittsburgh Steelers. Again, just big quarterback questions. We don't know what's going to happen with their situation, whether it's Russell Wilson, Justin Fields. Do they make a trade? They were in the playoffs last year, but it was so uninspired. They were allergic to scoring 20 points down the stretch, losing their final 5 games, including that postseason game. I wonder if that bleeds over into 2025.
All right, gentlemen. Emory, Tyler, appreciate the time. Good insight there and a lot of fun with you guys as always. By the way, we've always got NFL content fresh and ready to go. CBS Sports HQ, your spot for all of the news, highlights, and scores. On a day florists are flourishing, who isn't giving Cooper Flagg his flowers? Is his game in full bloom for Duke? Matt Norlander joins us next on the verge of college basketball's top 16 seeds being revealed.
You need your sports news all the time.
We've got breaking news to bring to you.
CBS Sports HQ gives you a snapshot of all the sports that matter to you.
Big news coming out of the NFL. A lot of movement in the rankings this week.
With highlights.
What a finish at the final round of play.
And in-depth analysis.
Can they three-peat? Tony Romo joins the conversation.
What can you say about this game?
When you need your sports in a snap,
we're bringing you that breaking news right here on HQ.
Find it on CBS Sports HQ. Streaming free anywhere you are.